page 230 in English, so you can look it up there if you need help. But I'll do page 248 right now. So for page 248, let's see, canvas size and make it bigger. Let's zoom in so you can see that part first. Let's see. Here we go. So it says Isabel has a sticker that is 2/3 inch wide and 1/4 inch long. It says use these numbers to shade and label the area model to represent the area of the sticker. So this sticker is 2/3 inch wide. The third tells us that it's split into 3 spots. So it can't be this one because this one has 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. So it has to be this side because it has 1, 2, 3, three parts. But we're only going to shade 2 of those parts. So we're only going to shade up to this part right here. 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. Now for the other side, it's out of 4. It's out of 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're only shading in one part. So that means that you're only going to shade from this side, to this side. You're only shading in 2/3 from this side, so it's only 2/3. And then from this side, it's only 1/4. There you go, 1/4. So it says to shade and label it. So you're just gonna shade it, and you're gonna label it like this. Afterwards, on number 5, it's asking you what is the area of the sticker. So to find the area, remember the area is just base times height. The base would be like the bottom part, which is 1/4, and the height would be 2/3. So when you show your work, you write the base, which is 1/4, and you multiply the height, which is 2/3. When you do that, when you do 1 times 2, let's add some color, I guess. When you do 1 times 2, you should get 2. And then for the bottom part, when you do 4 times 3, you get 12. This over here. You get 12. So now that you have 2 12s, that could be your answer, because you have 2 parts, 2 blocks shaded in out of 12 in total. So 3, 6, 9, 12 out of 12 in total. So that's correct. But I still want you to simplify it. So both of these numbers, you would simplify it by dividing by 2 on both sides. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Yeah. So when you simplify it, it also works. Yeah, but that would be your answer. I'll explain why that works later on. But that would be for part number 5. Let's check for 6. Oh, I can zoom in. Cool. Ooh, I don't know if I can do that. It's pretty cool, I guess. All right, so for number 6, it says fill in the missing numbers to make the equation true. So, so we need to fill in this numbers to make this equation true, to make it equal 1/10. So it says to do something else. Then let's not do that yet. So let's do this. 1/5. That means that I have to have 5 parts either going this way or going this way. Obviously, this way we have 2 parts. This side we have 5 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be our length, our base, the first number, 1/5. So it's out of 5, but we're only going to be shading in 1. Now we need to find out the missing number, but the missing number right here, the denominator, is how many parts is this separated into, and it's 2 parts. So that means that this fraction right here would be in parts of 2. Now, when I do 5 times 2, I get 10. That works. But I don't know 1 times what gives me 1. 1 times 1 1 times 1 gives me 1. But look at this. Now we have our missing fraction, our missing number. We already solved the first part, fill in the missing numbers to make the equation true. Boom. Now, next one, it says, then divide and shade the model to check your answer. When it says divide, it means separating these into parts. So 5 parts, and I'm only shading in one part of this, and then the other one is 1/2. The half, the 2, tells me there's 2 parts, but I'm only shading up to one of them. So I'm only going to shade from here to here. My answer, 1/10, matches my picture. 1 is shaded out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that would be answer for number 6. Now for number 7. Well, I'll give you time to fill this in or like just check your, but for number 7. A student uses this model to represent the product of 2 fractions. Remember, product means multiplication. So they use this to show the multiplication sentence of something, of 2 fractions. So I'm going to put this line here just because I know it's going to be 2 fractions. So we can write like 1/2 or whatever it's going to be. I'm going to put those lines there. So it says, what are 2 possible fractions that the student could have been multiplying? Find the product of the 2 fractions. So find the product, multiplication, of the 2 fractions. And then shade the model to represent the product. And then we're going to shade this to represent this. So the first thing we're going to do is what we did over here. How many parts is it from this corner to this corner over here? From this side to this side. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means that these are out of 6. And on this side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this side are out of 4ths. So it says, what are 2 possible fractions? I can make up whatever number as long as it has a 6 on one of the fractions of the denominator and a 4 on one of the fractions of the denominator. I can say, hey, I shaded 2 parts, I shaded 2 parts, or I can say I shaded 3 parts out of 4, and it would be 3 out of 4 this way. I also can do that to the 6, so if I choose 5, 6, I would be shading all the way up to here, 5 out of 6, or maybe I can say out of 2, so I only would shade 2. Now, once I create a number, though, once I create a number for both sides, if I do 2, 6, I got to shade 2 parts here. If I do 3/4, I have to do it all the way to 3/4 at least. And when I shade it in, it's going to have to look like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 3 for my 6s, 3 6s, and 2/4. So out of where it's cut up into 6 pieces, I'm only going to shade up to 3 rectangles. And then out of the 4ths on this side, I'm only shading up to 2. So I'm going to shade this area right here. So this area that I shade, that's going to be my answer right now. So when I multiply my number, it's going to be my answer. So 3 times 2, we'll do it over here. 3, 6 times 2/4. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. Now, like we did up here, simplifying, I'm going to simplify this. I know that both of these numbers can be simplified by 6. They can be divided by 6 to become smaller. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 24 divided by 6 is 4. Now, this simplification, well, let's look at our both answers. 6/24. Do we have 6 squares shaded in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Is it out of 24 in total? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yes. Now we're going to simplify it. 1 out of 4 is shaded. If you look right here, this right here looks like a rectangle. It's 1 shaded. If I make the same size rectangles for the whole figure, look how many pieces I can make. I can make 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, and only 1 is shaded. When you simplify in math with number fractions, you're simplifying a picture as well. And on this one, we simplified, we simplified this whole thing. It was out of 24 pieces. And we simplified it into 1 piece out of 4. But our answer would just be 1/4. If you leave it at 6/24, that's fine. But I just wanted to show you the other way that you can do it as well.